go, Cardiff Devils, Fife Flyers. I can actually see a few Fife jerseys that have made the trip down, and that is a fantastic effort on a Sunday. And the Devils win the first draw, and away we go. Hudson and Fournier, the D pairings on this line for the Cardiff Devils. Ivato, Russell and Morissette are the line sent out early on, so there will be a bit of a tweaking with Lee Salters coming back in to the lineup tonight for the Devils, as Russell can't collect that puck and away comes Fife. Bounds will settle that down for Hudson. Hudson has a bit of room to skate into here. Hudson to Russell, and Russell will just direct that to the corner. A good start to his Cardiff Devils career. Russell already has a couple of goals on the boards as Ivato finishes his hit in the corner. And we will not have our first icing of the play as that puck hits Bounds, and Bounds is aware enough to keep that puck moving. It's a strong forecheck coming in from the Flyers. Dingle, it is there for Fife. Puck's gone all the way down to Lee Salters, who's trying to find Joey Martin, and that's an interesting little combination here. It looks a straight swap on the lines between Salters and Kirker. And Joey Martin with protection, and it will be an interesting play as Fife do collect the puck, but they can't finish it off. And now here's Doucette. Doucette gains the zone. Tries to find the puck back door, but can't. Fife will just put that on Bounds. Batch with a long lead pass, and that's just going to go in behind the net of the Fife Flyers. Strong forecheck from the Devils though, and it's Haddad and Andrew Lord who are going to go chasing for that puck in the corner. Culligan tries to just keep that cycle going, but Fife will collect it now. Batch pinching in. Decent start from the Cardiff Devils. This crowd certainly into it. And Stewart gets a little trip, and Stewart is hurt on the ice. Danny Stewart has taken a bit of the tumble, and hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, and straight away you just see how much more confident the Devils are on the small ice pad in the tent, not creating anything too clean cut in terms of goal scoring chances, but straight away more energy in their legs, more aggressive forecheck, just looking to put pressure on the Flyers defensemen. Yeah, interesting to see. Also as well last night, Fournier and Hudson were split up. They had that one skating defenseman with Hendricks and Batch. They've gone back to this combination on home ice because perhaps Batch and Hendricks are a little bit more comfortable together here.
Morissette throwing that one in, looking for Ivato. Ivato started brightly in this game. But here come the Flyers. Haig it'll be, he'll just dump that in for Chetty to chase, and chase he does. And that looks to be the first icing call of this game.
Yeah, Sacchetti, somebody I'm really looking forward to see. He's had an injury to start the season, of course hugely productive for Dundee Stars a couple of years ago when they won that conference title, and came into this club late. He's going over a point a game. Drafted 50th overall by the Dallas Stars as well, so there's plenty of quality in this Fife Flyers lineup, and they were certainly a challenge for the Devils last time in this building.
17:21 remains in this first period. Fife win the draw, and there's a little shoving going in front between Sacchetti and Hudson, and that'll be another icing call. Nice pressure, gaining a little advantage. Yeah,
and that's good work from the Flyers again. To skate well does this line here with Sacchetti and Fox, and TJ Kaig is on this line as well, so certainly expect some offense from the top two lines for the Flyers. That third line perhaps a little bit more of a grinding line with Stewart and Gunn on it, and Cullen as well, and Cullen got involved physically as well last time in this building.
Devils come away with it. Ivato gets the Jets on. Ivato dangling his way through. Brilliant backhand play, and Brown was equal to it. Excellent work from Zach Ivato though, who's been the brightest in a Devils jersey in this early exchange. Paquette will just dump that one forward, but it's only as far as Hudson. He finds Fournier. Fournier had an excellent weekend here last weekend, but his pass was a little loose there. Salters taking time out of his rehabilitation to have a little bit of a shave and maybe looking a tad less menacing, but I wouldn't tell him. And now the Fife cut that out. Paquette will chip that forward, but again it's only as far as Richardson, who loses an edge, and now Fife can gain the zone. And that's a shot coming in and Bounds. I think it took a little deflection in front of him, but he was equal to it. Dingle. Down to Daw. Delay shoots, and that's gone wide of Bounds' net. In fact, they'll come out of the zone, but a bright shift from this Fife Flyers unit. Well cut out by Joey Haddad, and he'll chip that forward looking for Culligan, but it'll be a delayed offside. Fife in this opening few seconds are looking to bring a lot of speed into this building.
Yeah, a lot of speed, and as well, quite often sending those 2 high forecheckers in as well. Sometimes teams come in here and just look to sit back and just put that 1 forechecker in and clog up the neutral zone, which is something that's relatively easy to do on this small pad. But by sending those 2 guys in, they're cutting out one of the Devils' main offensive weapons, which is their outlet from defence. You've got the likes of Gleason Fournier, Carl Hudson, Andrew Hotham, and Mark Richardson. So much offence the Devils gain from their defensive pairings that the Flyers can see that, and here we go again, same thing.
Hendricks will just fit that out. A lovely touch pass that was from Culligan, and now Batch will gain the zone. And now it's chipped off a stick of Danny Stewart and gone over the net.
Yeah, good to see Josh Batch just jumping into the play there as well. There's been a lot talked about it, the physical side that he brings, and he was certainly a physical presence and for the Devils last night. Couple of big hits up in Sheffield as well, but he's got that skating side to his game as well. And just when you get that involved physically like that and get involved in a big fight, quite often it can bring other aspects into the game as well. And we saw recently that Batch, certainly over the last couple of weekends, has been jumping into the play a little bit more, using that big stride, and he's got a good shot too.
We'll be a little surprised to hear him talk about a few confidence issues he's maybe had over the years, and I think once he cracks those, the sky's the limit for him as a hockey player. He has all the tools, and it was great to hear from him in the week. The Devils gain possession in the Flyers zone now. Shot comes in on Brown, but it goes wide. Now Hudson. Now here's Russell who shoots, and that was a wicked disguise shot that just flashed. Now here's Avato. Avato just waiting out Brown, shoots, and I think it's hit the bar in the end, has it? But Brown was flapping. Shot comes in on Brown again. This time it's wide. Hit coming in again, this time from Russell. And this line is looking to be a very big energy line for the Devils so far. Now here's a battle trying to find Russell, just couldn't. Russell once more. Morissette coming in to help out, but the Flyers are all over it, but they can't get it out of the zone. Morissette battling Rue in the corner. Hoffin's under pressure from Sacchetti. Martin, shot comes in, and it's there! Finally trickled in as Lee Salters on his return to the team to put the Devils 1-0.
Lee Salters back into the lineup and straight into the scoring there, but if we look at the replay here, we'll only catch kind of the latter part of this, of course, with the Devils able to get those fresh bodies on the ice. But this is a goal with the Joey Martin line on the ice, and Salters it is, jumping onto that line with Doucette that finishes it. But that was all about the Ryan Russell, Zach Avato, Jake Morissette line. It was those that kept the offense going, kept the forecheck there, and meant the Devils were able to get their big line up against a tired Fife Flyers unit, and the goal was there.
And well, we talked about Lee Salters needing to have a good game tonight to fight off the competition, and boy oh boy has he had the best start. There's 13:55 left in this first period, and it's a Lee Salters goal which has put the Devils ahead. But now here come Fife with Daw. Stockton lays it off the door once more. Paquette, he loses out. Now here's Hotham, and now Salters once again. Just a little deft pass, and no red jersey could collect. Salters again. Hotham with a lovely move, and now here's Salters again, and Salters lays it off, and there it is, and it's 2-0 Devils, just like that.
When we take a look at the replay here, and again, Salters is instrumental in this, and this is a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 220, 30 pounds, and that's not something you can teach, and he just commands that offensive zone, and that's one of the easier goals that Joey Martin will ever score in a Devils uniform. But he still had to finish it, and it was there, and the Devils get just the response they wanted for Coach Andrew Lord there. Not 7 minutes into this hockey game, 2-0 up already against the Fife Flyers.
Indeed, you call it correctly there. Andrew Lord would be looking for a big response, not just from Lee Salters, but from his whole team. You know, it's a closely bunched. There's a turnover just in the Devil's zone, but there's a cleaner back from Chris Culligan. Hendricks will dump that forward for the Devils to chase, and Haddad will pick it up. Moves it down, but it's the Flyers who come away with it. Stewart will just lay that off for Gunn, but Gunn can't find Cullen. And now the Devils break on the right wing. Andrew Lord, who tries to put the brakes on. Haddad. And after the bright forechecking start of the Flyers, Alid, it's going to be interesting to see how Dudian changes tack here after going 2-0 down in this building. Never easy. Stewart shoots, and that's way over bounds his net. Ivato, who probably deserved one of those goals for his early endeavour in this second period. He skips away once again. He's going in to take on Roux. Roux cleans it up, but only as far as Fournier. Fournier throws it in front, and there was almost a tip in front of Brown. And it's a little bit of a trip, much to the delight of the big blue tent from Fox. And now there's Vato, and Vato does well to keep that in the zone, Jess, but no, it just creeps out.
And it was a bright start for the Flyers. I thought the forecheck was good, and they went about things in the right way, as we do get an ice on the play there. But I believe they left around 6:30 this morning on that bus. It's a huge journey down into Cardiff, and really, especially when you have that journey involved, and for most away clubs coming into this building, the environment is so different to what most teams are used to playing on, say for the Manchester Storm this season. The first period is all about survival and trying to stay in the game. 2-0 perhaps at the moment, the way things are going, Dudiem would take, but at the same time, if you can keep it a one-goal game after the first, that's often when sides can look to try and find a way back in. It's so difficult in that first period, especially with the Devils looking to make amends for last night's performance.
Puck is sent out of the zone, and Richardson it is who's going to have to tidy this up for the Devils around to Hoffman. Hoffman forward, and that's just tipped out. Here's Lee Salters, who's on a tear at the moment of this game, and this is a brilliant pass, and what a goal from Doucette, and what a pass from Martin, and the Devils are rampant in the first period, 3-0.
Well, as bad as the Devils were last night in Sheffield, Gareth, they've been irresistible so far in the first 8 minutes or so against the Fife Flyers. And we talked about it a little bit on the last play, and what a finish from Doucette. And he's a guy that had an opportunity last night. We're going to see a timeout called here by Coach Dudiem, and he had an opportunity to score last night against Brad Day on the breakaway. Didn't take advantage of it when the Devils were 1-0 up. So that's a big moment for him as well, to get that opportunity early in that first period and score one of the Devils' main offensive weapons.
Does it surprise you a little bit how much confidence the Devils seem to have come into this building with tonight after last night?
Not really. I think the way they play in this building, this is where the Devils feel at home. This is where they're comfortable, and you can just see that. They looked so uncomfortable yesterday against the Steelers, so tentative. But again, Lee Salters just commands the ice, and look at that heads-up play from Joey Martin. But Doucette's still got work to do, and that's a beautiful finish there to get around David Brown.
Well, Lee Salters' return, a goal, 2 assists. Not a bad night's work for the big winger. And the Devils have maybe looked all season at it for a line that has instant chemistry. And maybe even as late on as January going into February, maybe they've now found it with this line. As Fife look to respond after their timeout, as Fox lays that forward to Kay, but Kay's dispossessed by Hotham. Hotham again. Chetty just on the blue line. He can't get the puck either. Richardson just tries to lay that forward, but can't find Salters as Salters throws a hit in. Hotham takes a tumble, and now Fife will have a bit of the puck, but Hotham recovers. And now here's Chris Jones getting the shift for the Cardiff Devils. He's been used very regularly over the last few weeks, as has Piggott. Both have been rewarded with a couple of points in recent weeks. And Andrew Lord will be looking to, as Piggott throws a hit in, and there's taken a long time to get up in the corner. I think it is possibly Cullen. Can't quite get the number there, so 60 something is Cullen, or I think it's Cullen.
Yeah, it'd be great if we're able to just take another look at that hit, but that's an energy shift from the Devils' fourth line there. I say fourth line, they have two additional forwards in Piggott and Jones, of course, and then Joey Martin there centering that line, and it's good to see that Cullen is up on his feet, and we hope he can recover and get back into the game. As we just get a replay on things there. The Devils will work it well down low. Cullen has the puck there and then just gets caught really. And how do you see that one, Gareth?
Thanks.
I think I know what you're going to say by the look on your face.
I think that there was a slight extension of the leg from Piggott there, so maybe a little bit lucky to get away with that. And the Fife Flyers trying to go forward again. The building is electric here tonight.
That's my job tonight, isn't it? Sorry to make the comments on that. I saw a reaction from you there, and I've got to say I agree with you. I think they're probably very unlucky, the Flyers, not to get a penalty in their favour.
And here come the Devils. Hudson lays it off, and there's no shot on the play, as there's a bit of desperate defending from the Flyers, and they try to get an attack going themselves. That's a bouncing puck that doesn't outfox Ben Bounds, as the Fife Flyers got a little bit congested at their box there, at their bench, as they try to make that line change. Here's Kay. Tries to get around Batch and can't. Batch around to her dad. And the Devils are looking pretty comfortable with the way this game is going, and if the physicality is going to ramp up, you would think that the Devils coaching staff will be fairly happy with that. We have mentioned how feisty this game was, this fixture was the last time these two teams met here in Cardiff. There was a bit of afters after the final buzzer, and you know, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just got to get those things out of your system. Haddad finds Culligan, and Culligan's going in on Brown, and Culligan shoots, and it's just to the side of Brown's net. Back forward again, and it's Sacchetti this time who actually this time gains access into the Devils zone, but he's muscled out a bit, and Fife finding it really difficult to get cycle going in the Devils defensive zone. Now they do gain the zone, but Hudson it is who cuts it out this time. Fournier will win that one on the boards, and Morissette. Fournier with a shot, and that's wide of the net, and maybe the Devils defenseman will think he should have done a little bit better on that chance. He maybe had a little bit more time than he expected there on that play. 8 minutes to go in this first period. Russell. Cullen, who gets another hit from the Salters, and I'm sure there'll be a few ice packs on the bus for Cullen this evening on the way back to Fife. He's certainly been in the wars in this first period thus far. And that's cut out by Salters. Richardson finds Hotham. Hotham with a shot, and Brown with a save as it hits the logo.
Yeah, and that timeout there just helping the Flyers to a degree. I think it's just calmed things down a little bit, but they still don't look overly comfortable. But I mentioned that the Flyers early on were putting those 2 forecheckers in and stopping one of the Devils' big weapons, which is the outlet pass. Well, those goals have really sort of hit them for 6 a little bit, but that's something the Devils are doing well to them. The Flyers have got a lot of good puck-moving defensemen. You look at Ryu, Paquette back there, Delahaye with points as well, and that's certainly an area where the Devils have clearly targeted as well, and the Flyers just aren't able to generate that offense right now.
Fife do conspire between themselves to try and get out, but they can't. It's a little wrist shot by Hotham, and that puck caused Brown some problems. Hotham. Doucette, and he can't collect the puck, and here comes Fife. Door on the chase. Hofford. Will just be rimmed in and around the boards for Lord. .6:30 left in this first period. Cardiff Devils 3, Fife Flyers 0. It's been a rampant first period for the Welsh club. Shot in and around, and now it's going to be tipped away by the Devils as a dad just dumps that one in for Lord to chase. Sacchetti, and that's a lovely turn centre ice, and he finds Kay. Sacchetti again, and Kay just can't help him out the second time as Lord just eases that one out of the Devils zone. Kay with a little chip forward. Hendricks. And this game has just gone a little bit tepid in the last few minutes. I think the Devils may be thinking they'd be happy with this as a first period end, and Fife, I think, will maybe just want that 15 minutes to get counsel and get together as a team and come back in the second. But here's Danny Stewart. Gunn can't get that shot away, still finding his way there, but Aaron Topham will ease this puck out. Topham in and around the back of Fife. Now here come the Flyers once more. It's a shot and that's blocked. And they're still out in front. Stewart with a save, and that's a great pad save from Ben Bounds from Danny Stewart's shot. And now here's Morissette. Morissette just couldn't find a shooting or passing lane as Kyle Horn, the veteran British defenseman, eases him off the puck, and Fife will clear. 4:45 left in the period. And there's no question that Ben Bounds was the star of the show in terms of the Devils last night in Sheffield, and he's been reasonably a spectator so far in this game, but when called upon, put that big pad out and made the big save.
Yeah, Bounds was undoubtedly the Devils' best player last night. It could have been a far greater scoreline without him.
Sacchetti, he puts it on Bounds, and Bounds again just eases that away, and there's a hit in the corner, and Fife are looking a little bit more sprightly, and his gun out in front, and that's blocked with a lot of traffic in front. But Fife Flyers responded well since this timeout. 4 minutes left in this first period as the Cardiff Bay crowd maybe recognise that there's a bit of a Fife resurgence on the cards here. And the excellent GoPro footage that was on the Ice-Time TV YouTube channel this week from the officials from last weekend's Sheffield game, showing exactly what the sound is like on the ice from the crowd. It plays its part here in the Big Blue 10 each and every week. And now here's a shot coming out in front. Brown saves for Fife, and there'll be a penalty on the play.
Yeah, it looks like the Devils are going to go to the power play here, and the call looks to be on David Brown possibly, and he doesn't like that call. And we saw Marek Pinch come in here last week and just didn't look too comfortable at all for the Sheffield Steelers. Of course, we wish him well with his recovery after picking up an injury last night, but it can happen. Some goaltenders, they come in here, and David Brown, we know the quality that he has. We know that he's a drafted player, that he's played in the American League, but just in this building at the moment, just looks like he's forcing the play just a little bit, and it is the Devils with this potent power play unit that'll go to work.
First power play opportunity of the game then goes to the Devils. Here's Martin. Hoffman with a shot tip down in front, and it's not there. Hudson's on the rebound and he can't put it away, and it so easily could have been 4 for the Devils.
Well, if you're a Flyers fan watching this, your side may be 3-0 down, but you can't fault the commitment of players in front of their own goal. That was a huge play there from the Flyers to prevent this one from being a 4-0 game later on in the first.
Here's Martin. Fires it back. Hotham with a shot, and it's just wide. Hotham again. Hudson. Russell. And Russell loses possession. There's 1:17 left on the power play. Hotham His pass is loose. Morissette goes forward and that'll be cleared by the Flyers. 1 minute 5 left on the power play. 2 minutes and 28 seconds left on the period.
Devils had one power play last night against Sheffield. I'm not even sure they got in the zone. It was that poor for a side that's got one of the best in the league, and would have been important for them to generate some good offense here, and a goal would have been even bigger, but that was a huge save from the Flyers there.
Haddad. Callaghan. Fournier just puts that out in front, looking for a tip. He doesn't get it, and the Flyers do get it out of the zone. 30 seconds left on the power play for the Devils. Do they have one more chance in them as Fournier just eases his way out of the zone with ease as he gets out of there? And Haddad at the point. Tries to find it back door, it's still loose in front of Brown, and once again the Fife Flyers, excellent commitment from this team as Danny Stewart, who tries to get it out of there, and has he drawn a penalty on this play? No, he has not. That's a hit coming in from behind from Batch, and once again no armour from Stefan Hogarth, and well, for a 3-0 game the intensity is ramped up a little bit added in the last few seconds.
Yeah, and that's good to see, and I think that's what you get when you get those goal-mouth scrambles. It just gets everyone involved a little bit more emotionally, and that's excellent to see from the Flyers, because it would be perhaps the easy option for them to just fold here a little bit and just play a defensive, passive game and just wait things out. It's a horrible building to come to. They're playing against the league's #1 side right now in the standings, but full commitment there for the Flyers, and that's something they might be able to build off. Might be a chance of a scoring opportunity here at the end of the first, but certainly in the second, you've got to take the positives. Todd Dudien would have liked them to have been closer to the Devils after the first, but with some of the dominance the Devils have had, if they can find a late goal here, then they won't be too displeased.
Shot came in and just goes wide of Bound's net as the Flyers are in behind with Dingle trying to gain possession as we creep into the last minute of this first period, and Dorr just settles that puck down, and Dorr puts it on Bounds, and it slipped through the pad of Bounds, and it was almost a lifeline for the Flyers, but now here's Avato, who maybe has been sadly overshadowed in this first period. Avato shoots, and that's whipped over the net of Brown, and in any other game I think we'd be talking about an excellent impact he's had, but Salters with 3 points on the night. Yeah, maybe pipping him.
Well, I mentioned last night that Ben Bounds was the Devils' best player, and he was, but if there was one or two perhaps skaters that could hold their heads up high after that one, and Zach Avato was certainly one of them. For me, he was the Devils' best skater last night. He started this game in the same way, and huge commitment from him, his work ethic, no little skill as well, and it's him really tonight for me, with a strong Devils performance as well, but it's really been him that's the spark plug for this Devils performance we're seeing in the first period.
Hoffman trying to find Lord and can't, and Avato actually has gone off to the bench holding his hand, and there's a shot coming in from Sacchetti. No, there's not, he's just going to wait. Cade puts that across the crease, and no tip on the play. 20 seconds left in this period. Can Fife put one on the board before that expires? Sacchetti. Shot coming in, and that's wide of Bounds net, and Hoffman will take this puck and should tick down the last few seconds, and we'll keep an eye on Ivato's injury, which you can see his glove strewn on the ice there. The first, what will Fife be able to bring in this second period to get back into this game? And Fife will win the draw, and a huge hit coming in from Hudson, but it's just evaded. It's out in front of Browns, and Russell will take this puck away, but Fife starting brightly in the second period, getting back to the point. Hugh with a bit of a shot that just goes wide of Ben Bounds, and now the Devils will come forward. Russell with a lovely play, and it was Avato, trying to get on the end of it, but a lovely pass from the Devils winger.
just to wrap things up with regards to the interviews, it was a real pleasure to talk to Andy, and he talked so enthusiastically but knowledgeably about the game as well. And you could see the pride there. Very modest man, but very, very proud of his son. Just a heads up on things in terms of Rhys Webb. He's enjoying himself with the sponsors during the game, but we hope we might be able to catch him after the game. But we'll keep working on that one, see if we can get something sorted there.
Dingle can't get it out of the zone, and it's Dorr and Salters who battle, and Dorr wins. Dorr with a shot blocked by Richardson, and Bounds will cover up. 19-17 left in the second period.
Yeah, I'm sure Rhys Webb being treated well by everyone here at the Cardiff Devils, but we'll do our best to see if we can get a hold of him after the game as well. But great to speak to Andy.
Well, see, I heard he was really looking forward to meeting you, so I'd be very surprised if he doesn't take up on our offer of an interview later on. Hotham will throw that puck around. Dingle for Flyers, and Dorr battle for it now. Dingle once again. Now Haynes with a pass to the other side, and that shot comes in. That's a good save by Bounds. Been a positive start to this second period from the Flyers. Throwing a little bit of caution to the wind, as they will need to do if they are to get back into this game. Still a lot of hockey to be played. Salters just lays that one forward. Callaghan, who turns and runs into traffic. Good pressure from Callaghan. And a dad. Back to Callaghan. Callaghan looked to the point, but he could only find Cullen, who dancing his way in. Cullen tries to get it onto his forehand, and he's muscled out of it. Lord. A dad. Callaghan tries to find a dad, but he can't.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Callaghan there sort of, I don't know whether he could hear his father in the interview there, but just outlining that aspect of his game. Gave the puck away, but who was the first to recover it? In his own zone, it was Callaghan.
A dad with a shot, ripped wide of Brown's net. And that's hit Ivato right in the face, and certainly looks like his hand is all right as well after his earlier scare. Now here's Ivato again! Shoots, and that's a great save. Sorry, it was Russell coming in on that puck, and Brown did well to flash the glove, get something on it, and into the netting it goes. Yeah,
that's a big save there, isn't it, from David Brown. And Russell there, who's been on fire for the Devils since joining last weekend, had a goal last night to give the Devils a 1-0 lead up in Sheffield. And you can see the kind of calibre of shot he's got, the ex-NHLer there. Played much of a defensive game for the last few years in some high-quality leagues, but he's getting a chance to show some offense, and that's a timely save from Brown to keep this club in it.
Morissette with just a little chip towards goal, and Fife get it out of the zone, and no icing on the play. 17 minutes left in this second period. Puck goes to Morissette now. Morissette has options. Lays it to Fournier, but couldn't get a one-timer for Fournier. Fournier with a backhand play. It's cut out, but good invention from the Cardiff Devils defenseman.
The puck handling ability, at least, of Fournier there, and a rare bad pass from Jake Morissette, but Fournier still creating a goal-scoring opportunity out of that one.
And Morissette, part of the furniture here in Cardiff the past few years. People maybe forget about the season he first arrived here, like a few other people. There were positives to be taken out of that season after all. For anyone who lived it, they'll know what I mean, as Doucette goes in behind. Doucette onto the forehand, throws it across the crease, and it hit Brown's pad, but there was no Devils player to knock it away. But Doucette just playing that direct style that he was missing. Now he's got a breakaway chance. Doucette trying on his backhand, and Brown was large enough to get that away, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. But great pass, great breakaway attempt, and great save by Brown. Good hockey all round.
Yeah, penalty call on the play there and but it was still a good save. It's Nicolas Rieu's going to sit for 2 minutes there, but it was a sensible play from him as well, because that probably was the difference. Still required a good save from David Brown as well. And we saw in Andrew Lord's interview midweek, we'll take a look at the replay first, as again it's that pass, it's one pass, splits the D. We talked about it in the first period, and Doucette is through. We saw him score so many goals like that against the Devils for the Hull Stingrays and Nottingham Panthers before he joined the club, and that is just what Guillaume Doucette can do, that ability to go straight on goal. We're just having Neil Francis talking here to Stefan Hogarth, so we're just going to a little break in play here. I'm not sure I can see
something wrong with the ice. I think he's intimating for an employee to come and help out.
Well, that'll give us a little bit of a chance to talk about perhaps how the Flyers can find a way back into this game. And I was just going to, before we saw that replay, just have a little mention to what Andrew Lord said about when he put that Haddad, the line with himself on, Haddad and Culligan, to have a real puck possession line that can play in the offensive zone and put that pressure on defensemen and cycle well down low. The Flyers have gone with an option that the Devils have had up until that point, where they sort of had one big body, a little bit of everything on each line, and the Flyers have that with the split at the moment. With they've got Craig, who's a bit of a physical player, Stockton as well on different lines, and something I mentioned towards the end of that first period was maybe there's an opportunity there for them to just put a little bit more of that sort of high caliber offense on the one line with the skating players, then one or two bigger bodies together, just to try and change the dynamic up a little bit, rather than having a bit of everything on each line. It's certainly something that's worked for the Devils in this building.
Looking at Fife, Alex, you talk about giving some added depth to those lines. Is that the difference between them and when Dundee came here? They had three very strong lines. Braehead had three very strong lines. Is it just a case of Fife just need to maybe invest in a little bit of depth now coming into next season?
Yeah, they brought Sacchetti in, of course, partway through this season, who's added a lot of offense and will continue to do so, no doubt. But yeah, when you see the Dundee Stars in particular, you look at those three lines which have been virtually unchanged all season. They all offer something different, but everything they do extremely well. They play to their roles. With this Flyers side, yeah, there's a huge fan base up there, historical club. Perhaps from my point of view, I know this is something John Donovan has mentioned, our colleague as well, it's perhaps we'd like to see the Flyers just kick on a little bit, maybe. And
they still have the Wales National Ice Rink scoreboard, so it'll always have a piece of me in Fife as well. Hudson. Down low to Russell. Russell again. Down low to Morissette. Hotham. Morissette again. Morissette just tries to pass on across the crease, and again Brown gets something on it. Hudson. Hudson, just a little disguised pass, and Brown is equal to that shot. Russell to Hudson. Hudson to Martin, a block out in front, and what a block it was. And that is cleared, and Matthew Rose, the linesman, almost gets a puck right to the leg.
Well, we saw the beauty of a goal in the first, and that would have probably just topped it there. Tic-tac-toe play didn't result in a goal, but I like the way the Flyers are killing this penalty so far, and they've got a decent penalty kill on the road as well. They've got the right balance for me in terms of how passively they're playing and also how aggressively. They just got it right in the middle, where they're keeping that shape. They're putting pressure on the Devils players. They're taking away their time, but they're not overcommitting, and they're not giving up good goal scoring opportunities to the Devils.
25 seconds remain on the power play as the Flyers once again get it out, and that looks to be another kill for the Flyers on the power play. Is there one more chance for the Devils as we go to the last 10 seconds of power play? Doucette eventually gets the puck. Doucette just lays that off to Culligan. Culligan again. Flyers back to full strength. Culligan just tries to find that puck to Hendricks, who was waiting back door. 13:50 left in the second period. Gleason Fournier skates his way out of the trouble, but then he is dispossessed. Backhand play to the back door, and there's a goal! Fife get on the board.
Big goal for the Flyers. We take a look at the replay here. and it's that speed, and it's the Sacchetti line. It's Kaye muscles his way down low, and what a beauty of a pass that was. A nice play as well, just out front. It was Kyle Haynes there who just created all sorts of trouble out front, and it was a good finish on the back door there. And well, the next goal was vital, wasn't it? A 3-0 game, 4-0 would have buried things off, and a good save down here from David Brown, a good penalty kill as well, and the Flyers have fed off that, and a timely timeout call from Todd Dudiem in the first. It calmed things down a little. I don't think the Flyers really recovered fully, but they've hung around here, and now at 3-1, it just makes the Devils answer one or two more questions.
I believe that was also a delayed penalty goal as well. Algoff had his arm raised, so any stat-minded people who want to correctly label that goal, maybe they have their own spreadsheets going. I do know of a few around the league. We like to aid the accuracy of whatever you're doing, as here's Andrew Lord. Lord just tries to snake his way through and can't, and Haynes with a little bit of an arm up into the face of Andrew Lord as Fife gain the zone once more. Will there be a spring in their step? Another chance out in front, and there's just a hack away there by Kaye, and eventually that puck is whistled down.
Yeah, another good save from Ben Bounds there, and he's had to make a couple here, and he's just seeing a little bit more of the puck in this period. 7 minutes we are now into the second period, and it was a relatively quiet start, but that penalty kill just seems to have energized the Flyers a little bit, and they are creating more now, and that's a good sign for them. Unfortunately for them, it does look as though perhaps that start they just couldn't get perhaps a little bit of bus legs. I know the dreaded bus legs, but they do look a little bit of a different proposition in this second period.
And now here they are again with Danny Stewart. Stewart twists and turns under pressure from Russell. Now Cullen in the corner. Excellent work rate from the Flyers, but the Devils eventually get it out of the zone. Cullen. Forward to Gunn. Batch will just rim that one along the boards, but only as far as Wands. Piggott on the forecheck now. Piggott just finishes that hit, as he always does. Richardson forward, and that's just tipped forward by Salters. 12 minutes left in the second period. Stockton. The Devils come forward with it though through Salters. Salters can't get past Horn, who does well to stand up the Devils forward. Little battle going on now. But it's Fife who come away with it. Dingle tries to chip that forward, and Doucette does well to cut it out. And very close to us, the puck is chipped away. Dangling through is Joey Martin, but he can't get through to Brown. And Fife will come forward with Fox, but he can't collect. Martin. Back forward to Haddad, and Haddad's not going to get it. Hit coming in from Andrew Lord. The player coach is always the one to set the tone in games, and there's another example of that.
Yeah, but again, it's good control play from the Flyers, who have just got a foothold in this game now, and I think certainly defensively they're looking a lot more assured. I think there's a little bit more confidence coming from David Brown in goal as well, and that helps out the defenseman an awful lot as well. Just feeds through the team, doesn't it? So often you see it start with the goaltending, and he's been good in this second period so far, and they're getting those opportunities now, but they're finding a way to keep the Devils to the outside and limit those chances.
Fox hacks away at that, and now Fife get it out of the zone. Here's Sacchetti, the goal scorer, to Fox. Fox with a shot, and that's trickled past Brown's goal. Took a deflection out in front. But there is a bit more venom to the Fife Flyers attack after that goal. Here they are again with a great battle win. Sacchetti once more. Leahy just gonna chase that one in, and Hudson has to chip it away, but he doesn't. Delay out in front of Bounds, and it's still there, and it's a goal! Fife get the second after a mistake, and it's always been washed out by Hogarth. And I'm at a loss as to why.
I wish I could enlighten you, Gareth. We'll wait to see if there's anything on the replay, whether there was any contact with the goaltender, whether the net was just off before that went in. Here we do get a look now. Puck gets dumped in, and it's another neutral zone win for the Flyers. Hudson there, just too lackadaisical, and yes, it's the net that's off. And well, if that had been the other way, there'd be a lot of hysteria in the stands, I think, Gareth. We've got to caveat that with that net, you've just got to sort of blow it out, and it would almost like you were blowing out a candle, that thing will move down there. But that's unfortunate for the Flyers, because I think that's a goal whether the net's off or not, and we're seeing a long debate now as well. And I think that goal would have been deserved as well, as far as I'm concerned. The Flyers, and we talk about compete level, and the Devils are looking a little bit more like the sort of intensity they brought last night. It was all Devils in the first, and they blew the Flyers away, who'd had a long journey. But the Flyers, and it's just those small percentages, the Flyers have upped things by 5 or 10%, the Devils have dropped off, and right now, the Flyers have got a real opportunity to get back in here. We're going to see a penalty called on the play. And is it going to be a delay of game call here? I wonder. We'll wait to see what the call is. Whether this is a delay of game call on Ben Bounds, but then the goal is washed out subsequently, 10:06 left in the second.
Well, referee Hogarth is no stranger to a bit of, not controversy, but interesting situations that arrive. And
I think that's an honest play from Bounds. I think he's pushing for a post-to-post there, and that net does move. It sounds perhaps like a little bit of a homer call from me there, but we see whether it's the away goalie or the home goalie down there. We'll just await the call in the building. It is Bounds who gets 2 minutes delay a game, so I suppose by the letter of the law that's the right call there.
If he disallows it, he has to penalise him, yes. I would agree with that.
But it's extremely unfortunate for the Flyers, who I thought were well worth that goal in the second period. And another bad giveaway there from Carl Hudson there, who, for all of his offensive prowess, is susceptible to that kind of play in his own zone.
Now, I believe the ruling on it is that the net has to move and create a situation whereby the puck wouldn't have gone in otherwise. But I don't think that was the case there. As the Devils get it out of the zone, and there will be power play opportunity for the Flyers. 10 minutes left in the second period. And now a power play opportunity for Fife. Will they get that second goal, which I think you could argue that they deserve, and that's cut out by the Devils. Kaig will collect.
Flyers with a good power play overall. On the road, it's down around 15%, and that doesn't usually get better in this building because of the different dimensions on the ice.
Hotham will just whip that one forward, and now Brown has to stick handle his way around, and he does. 1:20 left on the power play for Fife. Rue will send that one down for Dingle to chase, but Dingle can't collect, but it's fallen for him now. And now here's Fife with a chance, and the puck tried to be found back stick and couldn't. As Brown just hits that one off the boards, but the Devils will collect that, and Fife maybe a little bit disappointed they haven't gained more traction with this power play opportunity. 45 seconds remain on the power play for them.
I think they'd have preferred the goal.
That's why you're here. That's an excellent insight, as always. I can't argue with it again. Here's Haynes. Shot comes in. It's deflected out in front. And Devils can't get it out of the zone. There's a shot coming in on Bounds. Bad save. And that puck has got through, and now there's a breakaway chance. Culligan back and forward. That's a great save by Brown with the pad. Culligan did everything right, but Brown was equal to it. Great hockey here in Cardiff Bay.
Brown there with a worldly save. Culligan, as you rightly say, Gareth, couldn't have done any more. There were so many moves there in his bag of tricks, and Brown with a fantastic save, and his team have certainly woken up in front of him after that first period. And I think as well, David Brown, as we talked about, so much more confidence to his game in this second.
And the Devils are back to full strength now. That was a short-handed effort from the Devils. And this game has really come to life since that Sacchetti goal early in the second period. Gunn to Dingle. Dingle up against Hotham. Fife still with it. Gunn again. Chipped off the boards. Salters gets it out. Now Lee Salters can go forward and does. And now here's Doucette with a chance. Back and forward and again. Brown's equal to it as it trickles past his crease. And wow, we've got a game on now. Hotham forward for Salters. Salters shrugs off Wands. Joey Martin. Fournier with a shot, and that's whipped wide. Another shot coming in, and this is a tip in front, but Brown again with a pad save. Martin with a shot, and it's a shot right to Gunn, and Gunn and Martin are in a foot race, and Martin does excellently to back check after his earlier mistake. And now here come the Devils again. Doucette with a shot, blocked out in front. And that's going to be a trip, and that will be a penalty. Clear as day. Power play to Fife.
Yeah, clear call on Guillaume Doucette there, who left the stick out, and the trip was there. Fife will go to the power play again, and we'll look to do perhaps get a little bit more success than last time. But I wonder if we can get another look at one or two of those Brown saves, because that was another wonderful save there from Brown. And you look at the players that he's making the saves on as well. Culligan first, but then Guillaume Doucette, who already has a goal tonight as well, and just absolutely loves that situation one-on-one with the goaltender. We get a look at the replay now. Henriks will clear that puck out, and the bounce works for the Devils. This is Culligan first up. Fifer on the power play.
Haynes with a shot. Pad save is right out in front of bounds, and the Devils can't get it out of the zone. Is a trip at the blue line, but that's an excellent recovery from Paquette to keep that puck in the zone. Haynes. Flyers still with it. And that's that momentum from Brown giving them the impetus to get another one on this scoreboard, as Paquette does excellently against Avato. And the Devils eventually get it out. 1:25 left on the power play.
And what David Brown's play is allowing this Flyers team to do is take more chances as well, because they've got confidence in him now to make those saves. And he looks like a confident goaltender. He looks like a different goaltender in this second period. And they're creating those offensive opportunities that perhaps they weren't able to do in the first.
Another battle into the corner. Hendricks with a hit. And that is much to the chagrin of the Fife Flyers bench, who really thought they should be on a 5-on-3 power play here. Now here's Andrew Lord. He's got Morissette in support, and that was a backhanded pass attempt, but it was well blocked by the Flyers. And now here's Lord again. And you wonder if maybe the Trevor Hendricks will maybe have to answer a few questions to the Flyers on the bench there, as I can't quite make out who it was, but there was an incredulous call from that bench. Another Devils poke it forward again. Culligan lays it off for Martin. Martin to Culligan. Culligan lays it off, shoots, and that's a great save from Hotham by Brown. Martin with another shot, another save, and I thought he was going to loop over Brown for a second, and now Brown has no mask. I still think he'd make the save with his face the way it's going.
What a hockey game we've got here, Gareth. It was a little bit, we saw such a fast-paced start, and then there was a bit of a lull as the Flyers just found their feet in this building. And again, this period just starting a little bit lackadaisical from both sides, but the Flyers took the initiative, backed up by some stellar goaltending from Brown, and now they've got that confidence, but they're giving up these odd man rushes. And you look at the players for the Devils that are bearing down on goal, but Brown is bailing them out every time. And you've got Joey Martin making a wonderful move inside. And again, we would have seen, if a couple of these goals had gone in, we'd have seen some of the prettiest goals we'd have seen in the big blue tent. But again, Brown with those saves, eventually the mask comes off. And a highlight really, he's trying to occupy the entire highlights himself, I think, at the moment, Gareth. Just highlight reel save after highlight reel save, and a joy for any hockey fan in the building to watch, because the offensive play from the Devils, who are getting that time and space in the offensive zone right now, is huge, and they're creating some great chances as well. We see Brown just go over to the bench to get that helmet. Lots of discussions happening here. But then Brown is responding in style, and it's just wonderful hockey to watch from both clubs.
I imagine they're putting some more of that stuff in the mask that they put in that period break, because it certainly seems to be working. Maybe that's where all these magical powers are coming from.
Well, thankfully, we've had so much entertaining hockey. We're going to be looking, going through the replays in the second period break, and well, thank goodness the players have delivered, Gareth, because boy, oh boy, I wonder if we're going to get through them all in the time we've got.
Brown looking like he's happy. Is that I'm not sure if he's had a mask change with the backup, possibly, but he's looking a little bit happier now.
I can't wait to see some of these saves again, because I mean, we're so fortunate with where we sit as well. It's such an unusual place to commentate from. It has its own challenges, but some of the views you do get for certain plays, to be this close to the action, we hope it's translating to you at home as well.
5 seconds left on the power play for Fife. And there it is, the Devils return to full strength, and now they come forward with Hotham, and Hotham's just going to find Doucette, and Doucette skips his way past. Salters. Hotham just tries to get that puck in, but Gunn does well to stop it. 3:55 left in this second period, which has had 1 goal and a million talking points. Make no mistake, you always get your value for your money on Ice Time TV each and every week here in the Big Blue Tent and in the future Ice Arena Wales. Fife have done exceptionally well to get themselves back into this game, and if they were to get another goal, you really wouldn't bet against them tying this one up. Dingle lays it off. Will they get one now? Good stick put in by the Devils, and now here comes Avato. Vato just puts the brakes on, shot by Avato, and that's taken a couple of deflections and gone into the netting above.
It's Mark Richardson again with that defensive play, and as so often he's the kind of player that is just excellent every game, isn't he? And very, very rarely has a poor night, but so much of the work he does that goes unnoticed, and again, they're bailing his team out because that had goal written all over it there as the Flyers bore down on Ben Bounds, and every time the Flyers are heading towards goal at the moment, that you feel as though there's a momentum with them, but Mark Richardson with a key play there.
Wands. Throw around for Fox. Fournier to Hudson, and now here's Avato again. Finishing his hit, Avato in the corner. Chris Jones just making sure that puck doesn't get further than him at the blue line. Now here's Fox with an intervention. And you get the sense that and there's a penalty on the play here. And it'll be interesting to see what's called. And there's a misconduct coming on the play as well.
Yeah, I'll be interested to take a look whether there was anything in addition to the hit on the replay. It did look like a hit from behind initially. It's Wands who's going to sit, but we've seen a couple of those hits tonight from the Devils as well, where they haven't been right in the numbers, and it will be interesting to look on the replay, I think, just to see whether that was right in the numbers or just from beside. TJ Kague is bemused by the call, but it's timely for the Devils again to get a chance on the power play here and just wrestle some of that momentum back, because for the most part of this second period it's been all Fife Flyers, particularly since that first penalty kill as well, where they were so impressive. Devils get a chance on their third power play of the night, and it's a power play which could do with a goal as well.
There's also a misconduct penalty thrown in there as well. There are 2 Flyers in the box. So actually, there's actually a 5-on-3 happening here. And there seems to be a little detail in that bench minor penalty there, Alan.
Yeah, so it's the initial 2 minutes for boarding on ones, which I think was probably fairly clear cut, but then we'll wait to find out what the bench minor penalty that TJ Craig will serve was all about.
There was certainly a misconduct movement from Hogarth, but that usually results in a personal 10 minutes, but it seems not. Doucette. Hotham. Hudson. Hudson again. Hotham tries to lay that back to Hudson and he can't, and Devils just maybe looking to load up a one-timer, but Hudson gains the zone. He gains a little bit of space around Haynes. Hudson to Hotham. Hotham Doucette. Martin, and Martin the wrong side of the net. A lot of the fans on the far side of the building thought that was in, and maybe it should have been. Hudson with a shot, Brown with the same, Martin with another shot, fans on it. And now people are sad on the puck. Hudson again. Morissette. Hudson. Hotham with a shot and a goal! 4-1 Devils.
Well, it's all well that ends well for the Cardiff Devils here. 5-on-3 opportunity, which they worked well, and they moved the puck quickly, but the Flyers kept that shape. But in the end, it's just a laser from Andrew Hotham that finds a way through. Just too good a shot there. David Brown didn't see too much of it, as there was a lot of traffic there. The Flyers perhaps contributing to that a little bit themselves. But, well, Joey Martin, we talked about how easy his goal was in the first. I think that might have been an easier opportunity in the second there. And the Devils can laugh about it now because Hotham has scored and the team have their goal.
Here's Fox on the backhand, saved by Bounds, and the action just doesn't seem to let up here tonight.
Devils still on the power play, of course.
35 seconds of power play do remain, you are quite correct. And it'll be interesting to see if they do get another one. Culligan tries to feed that into Doucette, but the Flyers will come away with it. And Bounds saves, and the attitude of Fife has been exemplary tonight. And you have to feel for David Brown, who was resting on his stick after that goal went in. You certainly wouldn't think he deserves that. But Salters lays it forward, and for a second I thought he was stuck under Brown as the penalty expires and the Flyers go back to full strength. The shot comes in, out in front, the backhand attempt by Salters, but another block it is, and this will be an icing call.
Salters there just creating carnage in front of Brown, and he's so big and he's so good on his skates, it's almost impossible to move Lee Salters from out there. But look at the emotion we saw from Andrew Hotham there on that power play goal, and I think Hotham would probably admit that last night wasn't one of his best games in a Devils uniform. He was guilty of a number of turnovers, but he's such an important cog in this Devils wheel, and everything good he does far outweighs the bad, of course. There's apologies there. That was well. Howard has worn another one. I think I might have been me, but I managed to put a duck in there, Gaz, and continue my commentary. I don't know what I said, but
well, that's another one to add to the collection, and the hashtag is Hardcore Howard, and please don't click on that hashtag because I'm not sure what else will pop up. But for now, we'll start our own for our cameraman, as there's 15 seconds left in this period and not too much longer for us on the air. (4-1 Devils), 13 seconds left. Will the Devils get one more chance here? The seconds tick down. Zacavato throws it out in front, and there was almost a touch, and there'll be another penalty on Fife with 2 seconds left. And the start of the third, we'll see more power play time for the Cardiff Devils.
I think I've regained my composure. So the Devils will get another chance on the power play, will they? We're seeing a bemused Zach Havato. I think Havato's actually going in here, so it's the Flyers who are going to get a power play, and well, Havato looks as confused as I feel. And I'm most days, to be honest. 2 seconds, maybe the Flyers can get a chance to get a shot away, but if not, they'll have a good portion of power play time on the fresh ice to start the third.
And there's going to be they're going to pull the goalie, and nothing will come of that as the buzzer ticks down in a very meek end to the period there. Very well. What? And so we kick off this third period, and the Flyers will start with a power play opportunity here in Cardiff Bay. Havato is the devil in the box. Richardson just disguises that puck and he can't get it out, and he ends up on the floor, and here comes Fife through Dingle. Dingle lays it off to Haig, who shoots, and that's just wide of bounds net. And now Morissette will find Russell forward, and Hotham's coming up in support as well, and Russell can't quite find him, and it almost conspired between the Flyers defenseman to put it into his own net. No penalty on the play. I thought there could have been a possible trip in there. But this game has started, this period I should say, has started as brightly as the last one ended. Fife with another chance, and Bounce saves. He was right out in front of him. Great save from the Cardiff Devils goalie, and the Devils clear. 55 seconds left on the power play for Fife.
I think Fife were a little unlucky not to go 5-on-3 there, to be honest. That looked a clear trip from Hotham for me. Big play from Nicolas Rioux to cut out that pass from Russell to Hotham.
Stockton just lays it back. Cullen back to Stockton. Stockton throws it out in front, and that's going to leave the zone, but it was a nice idea from the Fife Flyers forward. 20 seconds left on the power play for the Flyers. Cut out by Culligan. Now Culligan to Haddad. Haddad is stood up, but Culligan continues to go forward for the Devils, and a hit going in heavy in the boards on Culligan there. Devils back to full strength. Fife still in the zone, however. Shot comes in, and that's high and wide. Cullen onto Bounds. Bounds saves. Culligan loses the stick. Havato finishes a hit. Haddad. And that'll be offside on the Cardiff Devils.
Yeah, and a good kill from the Devils, who spent some time in the offensive zone there as well, Gareth, and they'll be pleased with that. It was a timely call to give away at the end of the period. Of course, Fife get that opportunity early on in this third period, and they'll have had plans there on the fresh ice, and 4-2 sees them right back in it, and an important kill that was from the Devils.
Fife once more, try to come forward, and just a loose pass as center ice kills that, but Danny Stewart almost curtles that one out, and that's an icing call that the Flyers forced the Devils into. 17:21 left in the third.
Yeah, we just wait to see how the pattern of play forms here. Of course, with the power play early on, it doesn't give us an indication of how things will be 5-on-5, but we've discussed it, and I think that the Flyers will play in a similar way, and we look for those defensemen to activate and join the rush.
There's a shot, whips in past Bounds. I think he got a piece of it. Chipped off the boards for the Devils, and Morissette can't quite find Russell. Havato cuts that out, and now Havato will gain the zone. And that's just offside. Russell couldn't quite get himself back past that blue line.
Well, I think in the first period, certainly the first half of the first period, well, perhaps even longer, we barely had a whistle, did we? I remember thinking that there was huge periods of play without. Different dynamic here in this third period. we've got a lot of stoppages early on, and I think perhaps for the Flyers, they'd like to see maybe the play continue a little bit more smoothly. It just allows them time to build up some offensive opportunities without getting cut out. I always feel for the team chasing, having a broken pattern of play like this doesn't do them a huge amount of favours. For the Devils, they're able to just contain, they're just able to regroup in every break of play, and right now they look reasonably comfortable 5-on-5.
The Flyers have had a busy week, of course. Midweek they travelled to Sheffield, and they did get a victory in the game, but unfortunately not in the tie overall. And they are out of the Challenge Cup now, but it was a valiant effort from the Scottish outfit. There's a wraparound attempt on Brown, it's loose. Doucette was sniffing around for a rebound, and now it's Joey Martin. Richardson. Doucette to Salters. Salters trying to use his strength to keep hold of that puck, but Fife conspire to get it out of the zone.
Yeah, and again, it's that big line for the Devils, isn't it? And I'm quite excited to see Lee Salters on this line. It's a dynamic I've always quite liked, and I don't want to do Lee Salters a disservice by just referencing his physical play. Of course, he's a highly talented, skilled forward himself, which adds even more to that lineup. But just that room he's creating right now for Martin and Doucette, it's a formula that I like to see, and we've seen success on many occasions over the years.
Culligan. You sense Salters could maybe do for Joey Martin what Max Beerbrayer did for Mark Smith all those years ago in Devils uniform. Beerbrayer was undoubtedly the muscle, but also the skill on that line. And Salters very similar in that regard. Maybe not as skillful as Beerbrayer, but very few were. As the Devils with a dad just keep the pressure on, but that's good work in the corner from Fife. But here's Lord. Lord to Batch. Batch does well just to keep that puck moving forward. Eventually Fife do get it away. 15:25 left in the period.
It's that combination, isn't it? And I don't want to again do Lee Salters a disservice here in terms of his hockey playing, but it was that Calder, Carlson, Pyatt line. It's one of my favourite lines ever in the Elite League, and what Pyatt did on that line for the AC/DC combination. And of course Salters is going to bring a lot more hockey skill side of things to the plate perhaps than Andre Pyatt did, but Pyatt played that role to perfection when he was in his pomp there at the Blaze, and it did so much for Calder and Carlson, and it's a combination I like the look of, and for Martin and Doucette you could see something similar brewing.
I can only assume it's your recent dalliance with Coventry which made you say favourite line in Elite League, because I absolutely hated it. And there's a chance of it on Brown again, and yes, I absolutely hated that line, and I was glad to see the back of it when it disbanded. As here come Fife once again, and the Piggott throws a little fake check in the middle there as Jones tries to put that puck on net. And the Flyers will gain the zone. Stockton it is. Bullying through, and now here comes Chris Jones. Chris Jones is looking for his options, and he just throws that one in on net. Jones again. And Avato this time is centering Piggott and Jones on this makeshift fourth line. And Avato does well to gain the puck back. Avato with a shot blocked out in front. And the Devils, of course, have a lot of games next weekend, or next week. There'll be a second leg of the Challenge Cup quarter-finals here against the Dundee Stars.
But I've been impressed by that fourth line tonight. It's had more regular shifts, and I don't think they're just there at the moment doing a job providing a rest for other players. I think they're adding a valuable element to this Devils side right now. They're going hard on the forecheck, they're putting pressure on the opposition defenseman, and they're playing a sound defensive game. They're doing exactly what that one flies out in the crowd, exactly what Coach Lord will want from them, and I think they're adding something rather than just sort of filling in a role at the moment for the Devils, and it's been notable that they've played more. Perhaps that is a reflection of the score as well, Gareth, but also we look at the healthy scratch Thomas Kirker tonight, and we look at those 10 and 11 forwards. The more ice time they're getting, the less some of the big players are getting, and perhaps that's a little bit of a message as well to some of these top players that they can't take a shift off.
Absolutely, and we are getting into the nitty-gritty of this Elite League season, and you can talk about all manner of permutations, but what matters is what points you get, and it doesn't matter who you get them against and at what stage and in the manner. It's that you get them a 2-set right onto his forehand. And games like this, when you have a team that is such a hard-working team in Fife, and they come to play and they put you under pressure, it's just these points that at the end of the year you're going to look back on, and if there are prizes dealt out here in Cardiff, they're points that will be so valuable.
That's the difference this year as well, isn't it? Is this a side that could have rolled over, and perhaps in other seasons you look at sides travelling for a long way away and not expecting to get too much here, but Fife have put up a huge battle tonight from the second period on.
Hendricks with a steam train effort which didn't quite connect, but if it had done, we would have had another highlight play here. Haddad round to Hendricks again. Hendricks with just a neat pass to Lord, and Lord with a lovely backhand dump in for Haddad to chase, and chase he will, beat out the icing call. Haddad still battling for it. Now here's Lord, back to Haddad, back to the point. Hendricks with a shot, and it's just whistled past Brown, who somehow ended up on his back. Cullen. We've gone back to a little bit of river hockey here in the Bay. Cullen can't find Stewart. Stewart, who always seems to be skating on one leg. I don't think he's been fully fit since about 2005. He's a warrior who plays through all manner of pain, and the puck is finally whistled down for me to have a small break.
I thought that was a goal for a minute there, Gaz. I think there's a little bit of debate happening here. The Flyers think there's a goal scored here. That got fired in and it deflected and went straight under. I wonder if we can get a replay up here. I tell you, it'd be interesting to see if we can get anything from this view as well, but we're hearing we can't get a replay up of that one, but I think there's a couple of Flyers players there who were adamant that might have been a goal.
Stockton. As Gunn is in the corner, and Avato again battling for it, and Morissette with a block, and such good qualities of player, Morissette and Avato, as Fife come forward, and Stockton will lay that forward. Gunn, who's always hugely impressed me every time Fife have come here. He's a hard-nosed player, very much in the Jason Hewitt mould, and I think what Jason Hewitt has done over the years has proven that you don't need to be a point-a-game player to be effective as a British player in the Elite League.
Well, there were times last night where Jason Hewitt looked a little bit like Wayne Gretzky, and that may have had more to do with the way the Devils played. But no, credit to Hewitt. He's made a career for himself in this league playing that way, and he's made the absolute most of his talent, and he's a real warrior, and certainly to see more players of that ilk coming through.
Shot coming in from Fox. Wands with a shot, and this one's over the top of the net of bounds and cut out by Fournier. Russell to Salters. Fox. And there will be high sticks if the Devils touch it, but they don't. The Flyers keep it alive. Martin to Alters. Flyers gain the zone once more, cut out. 10:25 left in this period. Fife will need to get on the board soon, you feel, if they are to get back with any chance of tying this hockey game. As we touched upon before the game, maybe goal scoring has been a weakness for them this season, as that'll be an icing call.
And with that whistle, I think we're going to get a chance to look at that opportunity for the Flyers. We get the replay now. It's Cullen, it is, with the puck, and he'll just fire this one in. And first of all, Hendricks gets taken out a little bit there because that stung and went through the pads. The play continues. Danny Stewart will get a hold of it, go around to the half boards, and well, we're back live. We might get another look in a moment.
Okay, folks.
And the 50-50 draw is going to come about, and I think I'm going to win it today. I've been told I'm eligible.
Do you remember your numbers?
Yes, they're right down in front of me. So next break and pay, Alid, I'm sure the viewers are on tenterhooks to see if me and you are going to win some money tonight.
This could be a magic moment on live television, guys, coming up now.
We'll get Tiger on standby because I'm going out tonight if I do. Of course, hopefully no one from our other partners, Cardiff Met, listen to that, as I will be starting a new job there tomorrow. And Flyers get through and no call on the play. Fife keep it in, however. Delay with a shot, bounce saves. And Stewart gets absolutely mullered out of the crease by Josh Batch.
And that's old school hard-nosed defending by Josh Batch, isn't it? That's exactly the way to play. Stewart knows that. He's a veteran of this league, 5 years at the Flyers now, all that time winning championships at Coventry. And that's the way he plays, and that's the way it's good to see Josh Batch playing as well. And we might get another look a bit later on at that replay when we get a slightly longer break in play perhaps. It's just that goal scoring opportunity right at the end there, but 9:40 left in the third.
Hendricks. Batch tries to fit it out to the right wing and does, but it's cut out. But a good recovery from Trevor Hendricks, and now Lord will tip that forward and Haddad will chase. Cullen. He'll go into the corner with Hendricks, and Hendricks will just ease that away.
I wish I'd brought my snare drum now, Gaz, to give you a drum roll for awaiting this 50-50 draw in the next break. You never know when it might be useful.
Well, if I was going to have anyone drum for me, it would definitely be you. That's without question.
Can I put that on my website?
Please. Tassel in the corner, and that puck is laid down.
This is it. You thought the hockey was important.
Oh, shirt off his back is first. Todd's obviously here in the broadcast and wants to eke out any sense of drama from this.
That's just about the only thing you haven't entered tonight, isn't it, Gar?
I like to do my bit for the club, Alid, as you know. Always will. Forward. Now the Flyers will go through Dingle, but it only goes as far as bounds, and that is going to be... There's going to be a little tussle that's going to be penalised here, and it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey as Vato and Stockton have had a little bit of a to and fro.
And I'd like to have seen a little bit more of this. I've talked over the... you haven't won it.
Straight off his back, it's okay. I'm
on
my 50-50 now, it's good.
Sorry. Just back to the hockey for a second. Oh, it is. Wait a second. Way off.
But weirdly, 60595 is my favourite number, so if I'd been able to pick my own, I'd have won.
How did that become your favourite number, Gav?
I liked to count as a kid. I had terrible insomnia, and that was the sheep that I usually used to get to before I could settle down for the evening. So 4-on-4 hockey, and this is going to hopefully give us the same level of, that's a high sticking call, it's going to give us the same level of river hockey that we saw.
I think we're going to get another quick look at a replay. This play here, and here we go. Danny Stewart's going to get a hold of this puck. Hopefully this play will wait for us. That gets fired in. Look at that. Well, we can't see from that angle, but maybe it was a speculative appeal from the Flyers for a goal there, but it was certainly close.
Definitely something to talk about. Bounds didn't look comfortable with that shot, that is for certain. Martin. Doucette. Martin and Doucette have thrived on 4-on-4 hockey in overtime this season. Hotham just lays that to Martin. Martin waits, tries to get on his forehand, but that's excellent defending from the Flyers. Richardson to Martin. Hotham! And that puck's just bobbled up and away. 7:40 left in this third period. Still Cardiff Devils 4, Fife Flyers 1.
And the Flyers defence, they're almost sort of standing and just watching and admiring that like we were. When you get that combination of players on the ice, the Martin line there, Doucette, Salters out there, we know can handle a puck. And when they go out with Andrew Hotham as well, it's just so difficult, isn't it, to, especially in this building where they know the angles so well, they know each other so well. Sometimes you just got to sit and admire that and hope for the best a little bit.
7 minutes left in the third period. 25 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. Fife with a chance, and that was a neat little pass, and now will Haddad be able to get through? He will! Haddad's in O'Brien on the backhand, he tries to get up the forehand, there'll be a penalty. And it's a penalty shot on the play, and as if we hadn't had everything else in this game added, we now have a penalty shot to look forward to.
And again, it's that stretch pass, isn't it? In this building, you've just got to be aware of it. We're going to get a slow motion replay of this. What a great look we're going to get here as Joey Haddad gets ready. He'll have to get his helmet on first. And here we go, Haddad in on goal, and there it was. It was Kyle Haynes who just got the stick in and around Haddad there to do enough to put him off on that shot. And again, right play really, 4-on-4. We talk about how little space there is on this ice pad. 4-on-4, it just turns into a different game. Do we get some slow motion of this before Haddad, who's not ready to take his shot yet, still being talked to at the bench and get his helmet seen to. Haddad is in on goal. Haynes there with the slash there. Yeah, that's as clear as day. You'll see slash on the ankles there. Haddad goes down and into David Brown before he can get the good quality shot away. So with 8 seconds left of 4-on-4, we get even more drama.
Haddad against Brown here in Cardiff Bay. Can Haddad see this game off well and truly? He's in on Brown. Wills a move, and that's a brilliant save by Brown. I thought he was just going to sneak under him at that last moment. But 4-1 it stays.
What a move there from Joey Haddad, and an even better save from David Brown. Fabulous hockey all round. Privileged to see that kind of play, because again, just like with Culligan earlier, Haddad there with a beautiful move seemed to outweigh Brown on that occasion. But Brown there, what a huge save with a blocker, I think it was in the end. And I think it was one of those where everyone felt that it was in almost until you realised the save had been made. It just looked like it had goal written all over it with the position that Haddad had gotten himself into.
I'd already made my call in my head. Much like the rest of this game, Brown has ruined that particular fun. But you certainly have to take your hat or your goalie mask off to this performance tonight from David Brown. He was part of what is actually an amazing Hull side from last year when you look at the success some of the individual players have had that were in that team. And a lot of credit has to go to Lozon and Pasha from last year for finding these guys. A shot comes in! A bounce saves, and that's another little magic juggle from Chris Jones. 5:50 left in this third period, and both teams back to full strength as Danny Stewart bulldozes his way through. Doucette with just a little calm of the puck there. That's a hit coming in from Stewart on Batchers. A little receipt for earlier. Stewart with a chance. Blocker save. Martin lays that forward, and now we got a chance. Piggott, Doucette, and Piggott's pass was just past Doucette for a one-timer. Hotham. You just still feel there's something else about to happen in this game as the icing is called, and Doucette's a little unhappy. He thought he might have been able to chase that one down. Richardson in the corner battling for Fife. Away with it, home with a shot, and Bounds saves into the net in 4:57 left. And you feel that times maybe run out for the Fife Flyers to get anything from this game.
Yeah, you can never say never, but the Devils looking reasonably comfortable now, although there was that really good chance in on bounds just a couple of shifts ago. But it's been one of those games, isn't it? The Devils started out strongly, but a lot of it, as we talked about, it's been on those key moments it swung, and things have just gone a little bit in the Devils' favour. And I think to regain some momentum after last night's performance, they'll certainly take that. But a lot of credit to the Flyers as well, the way they've battled back after a difficult first 10 minutes in particular.
Shot comes in and bounce saves, and you can certainly see why Fife had so much joy against Edinburgh last night. A big win against their local Scottish rivals.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of quality on that team. They've got a few draft picks. I think the addition of Sacchetti is a good one. It adds that offensive firepower that we talked a little bit about, but it's just that depth, isn't it? That third line, able to contribute something as well, perhaps offensively, that perhaps some of the real top sides in the league just have that little bit of extra depth. Just like the Devils, where they have goal scoring on all three lines.
Callaghan tries to find Haddad and does, and Haddad has worked so hard tonight, as he always does. Callaghan. Haddad. Now here come the Flyers with Sacchetti, who's been impressive all night, but Fox had just gone a little bit too soon. Cut out again by Sacchetti, and just seemed to say his name all night tonight. Dingle. Sacchetti. Lord to Fournier. Fournier. Only as far as the lay. He's got a chance of bounce save. He's still loose up front. Another chance. Bounce still save. Still loose out in front. And finally bounce again. And there's going to be a little afters, you think. No, there's not. Maybe a little surprise in there.
Yeah, Gleason Fournier made one of those passes last night as well, just for all of the quality he brings, and I think there's no doubt about it. He's since he's come into this lineup, certainly added to the Devils side and been one of the brightest sparks in a highly achieving side. But just guilty now and again, and perhaps just that supreme confidence. He looks like a player who has so much confidence in his own ability. He just throws a blind pass in his own zone.
Another save from Bounds, and hit coming in from Josh Batch, who's been a rather angry soul at times tonight in his own end, as I'm sure all Devils fans like to see. Haynes for the Flyers. He's muscled out of it by Avato, who's on the first buzzer has been impressive, and Hendricks with a shot. Brown with a save, who would have thought?
Yeah, Hendricks with a blast there, and I'd always like to see him get a little bit more involved in the offense, because we know the kind of numbers he put. We talk a lot about the numbers he put up in junior, and outscored a couple of current NHL players there. But he's very much made himself a stay-at-home defenseman in the Devils, and again, that's what Andrew Law talks about: his players not concerned about personal goals, but fulfilling a role that means the team is going to win. And he's certainly done that with aplomb for the Devils. There was a time towards the end of last season, at the start of this season, where perhaps I know John often talks about him becoming a little bit Hollywood in his play, but certainly since around that November time, he's been a solid player at the back there for the Devils.
Hit coming in into the corner, and now Chris Jones comes away with it, and almost another hit coming in on Jones as we're 3 minutes left in the third period. The compete level seems to have in no way dissipated in these late stages, as Morissette picks up the puck and tries to find Avato, and it's just wide. Brown covers up.
And I think if anyone deserved a goal tonight, it was Zach Avato, wasn't it? He was the catalyst early on for the Devils, putting in those shifts. He was probably their best skater last night in Sheffield, and he's been good all night. And I really like the look of that line there. It was the one slip which just allowed things to open up, and that time Morissette got a good pass off to Zach Avato, and that line does look good. There's a lot of work ethic there, and a lot of high quality too.
Richardson. Puck will be ushered out of the zone by Fife, and Dorr it is, who maybe has been a little bit quieter on this visit to the tent than he was the last time he was here. Martin. Still Martin. Finally, Fife get it away. Hotham. we are into the last 2 minutes of the third period, and you would think now the last two minutes of this game. Culligan. Will there be a late lifeline for Fife? Shot comes in, blocked by Hudson. And now the Devils go forward, and it doesn't get to Andrew Lord. Another rush for Fife. Fournier. Long stretch pass to Haddad, and that's going to be called offside.
So we're just 1:19 to go. I suppose it's a good time to put ourselves on the line and talk about possible man of the matches tonight. Gareth, any thoughts from you?
Zach Avato would get it for the Cardiff Devils, and I don't think you can give it to anyone but David Brown for the Fife Flyers. Maybe Sacchetti would have been in with a shout with me as well.
I thought I'd ask you first before you asked me.
Kane tries to find a back door, and it's just banned on by Stewart, who once again has led by example tonight for his team. Haig puts that through into the mixer, and again Stewart was looking to pick something up. Avato. Morissette will dump that in, and Jones on the chase. Jones does very well just to win that puck back, and there's Chris Jones staking yet another claim for a regular shift in this Devils team, and the competition for places is fierce now. Stewart, it's a huge hip check from Trevor Hendricks, and I said not long ago there was something else in this game left for me to call, and there it was. Doucette. Martin. Last 15 seconds of a breathless game, and credit to both sides for really bringing a positive attitude. As the Red Army cheer the Cardiff Devils to the final buzzer. It's a 4-1 victory, which doesn't really tell the whole story from a Fife Flyers perspective, but the story it does tell is the Devils bounce back after a disappointing Saturday night, and another 2 points in their quest for Elite League glory.
Yeah, it was the start that killed the Flyers in the end, and it was what won it for the Devils too. The Flyers just couldn't live with the Devils in that first 10 minutes or so. Brown looked a little shaky as well in goal, and the Devils took advantage, because if the David Brown we saw from the second period had been in goal in the first, again, it could have had a different complexion on things. It just needed 1 or 2 big saves there, but for the Devils, they took advantage of that, and they came out with the emotion that they needed to after last night's defeat. But again, the way the Fife Flyers battled back, and perhaps just didn't get the puck luck they deserved at times, could have been a different game there. And it's one of those things where it's in this building, it's a lot easier to play with a lead, more so than other buildings, just because of the lack of space, and the Devils were able to clog things up in the neutral zone and limit the number of high quality scoring chances that the Flyers could generate. When they did, Ben Bounds was good again for the Devils in goal. He leads the league in stats for goaltending, and we saw why tonight. But a big contest between these two clubs, and a thoroughly enjoyable night of hockey as well.
Man of the match choices for you, Mr. Lloyd, as I put my neck on the line.
I thought I got away with it. The carpet is being rolled out, so I'm wondering if I can sort of riff and fill for long enough. But I think Brown probably gets it for me too.
Not on my watch, Alan, not on my watch. And Sacchetti is the player who gets it. He was a goal scorer, and he was excellent tonight in all areas of the ice. That's a good pickup for Fife mid-season. And all that's left to say for Fife is we of course wish all their players, management, fans, supporters, anyone connected with the club a safe journey home. Best of luck for the rest of the season to them, as well as they go off in their quest for a conference glory. And always great to have the Fife Flyers down, and we thank all of their fans who've tuned in tonight as well. They're a credit to the league to have, and we hope they stick around for many, many more years than they already have.
So in terms of the Devils man of the match, I think Zach Avato has been superb as well. I'd agree. I think honourable mentions as well. Salters had a huge first period, didn't he? And that line looked dangerous all night with Martin and Doucette on that line. I thought Josh Batch had a really strong game defensively as well, and I like the additional physical presence he brought to the game tonight. Just that hard-nosed, nasty defenseman that we know he can be, and he played just along the right line tonight for the Devils as well.
And here's the person who ousted me to a 50-50 prize. Good luck to them, and I hope they do they enjoy that money. The 50-50 has been much increased in the building, and that's good for the team. It's good for the winner.
Yeah, it's just about the only time Todd Kelman's shaking our hands, isn't it? Just to get some money out of us before the game. And of course, you could have got your hands on that big check as well.
Until we get the puck truck from Coventry in this building, I'm afraid that the big check has taken a back seat. The puck truck is a fantastic piece of machinery. I'm envious you got to call it in action, Alan. I'm, more envious than you calling the Culligan goal, I think.
In person, it's an even finer creation, Gaz, I've got to say. There we go. It's Andrew Hoffman who gets the man of the match prize for the Devils, and certainly a catalyst for a lot of things good that happened for the Devils tonight as well, with the goal as well. And it's often the case that Hoffman is in and around the best players on the ice, just because he's one of the best players perhaps the Elite League has ever seen.
And he still seems to be chasing people down for the points to be top